Welcome to Burn the Ship. This is the podcast where we connect entrepreneurs and professionals that help you go all in on your business. We talk to people that have walked the walk, talk the talk, been through all the things that we experience as small business owners, and come out the other side of those experiences ready to share those with us, which we couldn't be more thankful for. So, first of all, thank you very much for being a part of the podcast, giving us some of your time, being willing to teach us based on some of your experiences, as well as teach those things to our audience. It's super, super valuable both to myself and my network. So thank you for that, first of all. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people your name, tell people your business, tell us what you do.
Yes, thanks for having me today,
Yeah,
Bailey.
anytime.
Really excited to be part of your podcast. So my name is Nadia Iftikhar. I'm based out of the Toronto area. So shout out to any Canadians tuning in. And a little bit of an intro about me. So my story is a little unexpected. For over 13 years, I was living the corporate dream, or at least what I thought was the dream. I worked as a beauty executive for a big beauty global brand, having worked in markets like South Asia, the Middle East, and eventually North America, building e-commerce and business development strategies. So I was traveling across the nicest parts of the US all the time, fancy hotels, events, shiny presentations, you know the drill.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year in the fall, I decided to quit. Not to join another company, not to start my own tech startup, but to buy a pressure washing business. Yeah, so I went from lipstick and luxury skincare
Mm-hmm.
to owning a business that washes mud off trucks
Mm-hmm.
and blasting dirt off parking garages.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the kicker. I had absolutely no idea how the pressure washing industry even worked. But I wanted to gain I wanted to be in charge of my time. I wanted to spend more time with my kids and really be in charge of my future. And my job was just not fulfilling for me anymore. So
Sure.
I wanted to be in business. I was looking for a business that was recession proof, close to home, had a solid long-term client relationships, and something that could replace my income right from the start.
Nice.
So I found an 8-year-old company in Hamilton, Ontario. It's called Hamilton Mobile Wash, that was up for sale at the time. And it was run by a couple who were ready to retire and didn't have a succession plan. And even though I had two kids, a third on the way now, a mortgage, zero experience in the industry, but I thought, you know what? Let's burn the ship and
Hmm.
no going back.
Tell me this: what was the catalyst for, like, what were the criteria that you gave yourself for picking the pressure washing industry, and what was the catalyst for leaving your other business?
Yes, so I was, like I said, I was working in the beauty industry, which has nothing to do with blue collar service-based businesses like pressure washing. What I really liked about the pressure washing industry was the fact that this was recession-proof. So whatever, economic situation that we are in, as we are seeing even now, the times with all the tariff situation and everything, our business is not impacted to that level because things get dirty and they have to be maintained, they have to be washed. Some companies even have to be compliant in order to operate and maintain their facilities and fleets. And this is where we come in. We are able to take those projects on. And the fact that this was a relatively older business, so it had, seen all kinds of economic situations like even COVID and survived that. So that was something that I was looking for, something that is not impacted by the economic situation that we are in. Fairly straightforward. Pressure washing, things get dirty, you come in and clean them. You don't really have to have a lot of technical skills for somebody like me who didn't really have any background. But basic business implementation skills, I think more than anything, having the grit and the right mindset for business has been my experience. That has really helped me.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, where were you guys? Like, give me some frame of reference of size from when you, because how long has it been since you purchased the business?
Yeah, so this is my 11th month
Nice.
now.
Almost a new
Yeah.
anniversary, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Nice. That's exciting. And so, where were you then versus where you are now?
Yes. So this first year, as you can imagine, everybody remembers their first year.
Sure.
This has been nerve-wracking and terrifying at the same time, very exciting time for us. We've recently actually acquired some really exciting clients that will take our revenue up by 25% by the end of the year.
Nice.
This is mostly in reoccurring clients that we have been trying to get their big contracts, reoccurring that stabilizes the business, keeps my crew busy, and we're able to build those long-term partnerships with those clients.
Nice. And so, as you're growing, what is that thing that you've done that's helped you grow? Because I know that walking into a business that already kind of has this established solution and already has an existing network in that area, you have to think, what are the most important things to keep the same? Like, what is the biggest value for consistency in some of these areas, and what are the things that I need to change or tidy up or try to really hang my hat on and do really, really well that are going to help me grow?
Yes. So coming from corporate, I have tried to implement some of my experiences that I've learned in my corporate life, and that has been from my experience in business development. I realized how building long-term partnership is so key, and that is unfortunately um, not really looked into, especially in blue-collar businesses and service-based businesses and pressure washing businesses. So I show up to these introductory meetings. I talk about how we are different from the other players. We have $5 million liability insurance. We are WSIB covered. Our team is certified and has been with us for many, many years. We have retained our top talent. So it's not going to be a new face that you're going to
Nice.
see, that the client is going to see every time, every week. Um, my crew knows the client's expectations and they deliver on those expectations every week. So these have been some of the things that we've been able to implement that have really helped us to build trust and really perform on another level, unlike other players in the industry.
Sure. Well, what are you doing differently that's helped you acquire these clients that are going to boost your revenue by 25%? Is that something where it's just consistent time and pressure and you've had the right conversations, or did you implement something new to try to create some new opportunities for yourself?
No, so I wish there was a magic wand and a secret formula
Me too.
that I could share with people. But it's the boring stuff that gets things done, right? It's just consistency, it's door knocking, it's showing up, introducing yourself, talking about your business and networking events, connecting with other local entrepreneurs. Some of our best clients have come from referrals and we have we are blessed to get those referrals based on the team that we've been able to have and retain. So yeah, it's the boring stuff, knocking on the
Sure.
doors and making sure you deliver on what you promised the client.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, I draw a lot of similarities to that in my industry as well. You know,
Yeah.
my industry, maybe the biggest difference is that a lot of these people are kind of getting bombarded by my industry. There's a lot of
Yes.
retail, a lot of restaurant that are just getting 30 calls a month and a handful of walk-in visitors every now and then, but trying to bypass a lot of that and a lot of the like shiny new toy technology that hits my industry is trying to win
Yes.
relationally. You know what I mean? Is trying
Yes.
to win from a perspective that you know me and like me and trust me, and that if you do business with me, the outcome will be a positive thing. And setting that expectation, sowing that seed in people's mind, has probably been the most valuable thing for my 10 years in my industry as well. So I can relate to that. But tell me, what's been difficult? You know, as 11 months in, I'm sure you've learned a
Yes.
lot. What's been the biggest learning curve?
I think the biggest learning curve, the shocker, especially having acquired this business in the fall season last year, we had one of the worst winter seasons ever.
Yeah,
And of course, it happened to happen in our first year of business. So that really rocked our world. We were having to cancel. We had work, we had services, and we had to cancel work just based on the safety of our team, our equipment, and even the client's assets. So that was really an eye-opening and humbling experience as an entrepreneur that you have to do the right thing, even if that means a loss in revenue.
Sure.
But you have to do what's right for your team, what's right for your business. And every day I tell myself like I have to think long term, not be short sighted, not just think about if we're not able to service this one service, but what that eventually is going to do for my team's morale, for building trust with my client, that why am I saying no? How does this impact their business as well? So they know that we are not just here to make a quick buck, and we are really, partners with them. So yeah, that winter season earlier this year was really, really a challenging one. And again, turnover within the staff. And that's something that I'm learning every day. And I'm happy to say that I've gotten really, really good at it now. This is something that I feel we've been able to have a proper system and really nail it down. Especially being a B2B exterior washing business, we want to have a solid crew in place. We don't want to have a lot of turnover in our team. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, the turnover exacerbates issues that you have with technology, issues that you have with clients, trying to find someone else to bring that responsibility and ownership to fix those things is very, very difficult when you're training someone that is a new hire. So retention, I would say, is as
Yes.
or more important as your ability to fill the top of the pipeline when it comes to new clients. So are you guys
100%.
only B2B, or are you venturing more into the commercial side? Do you still have some retail clients or?
No, we are strictly a B2B exterior
Nice.
washing company. So we bring our equipment right to the client's location. So think like washing anything from massive warehouses to factories and fleets of trucks, heavy equipment, underground parking garages, that kind of stuff.
Nice. And is it mostly where you're working? So you network a lot, I'm assuming, is you're going out to meet other business owners and build those relationships and get work from those people?
Yes.
Yes, very
Yes.
similar. That's similar to my world. And how have those, I'm assuming that in the area that you are in the world and the culture, from what I understand, to visiting where you are a handful of times, is that those people are arms wide open to people that are experiencing a lot of the other things. It's just some of the nicest people in the world, that I've
Yes.
found in that
Yes.
direction.
That is very true, and especially like as we're known for being too nice.
Sure. Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true as well. I didn't even think about it that way. That is true.
yes, exactly. So we're as Hamilton Mobile Wash for the business, we are part of the Toronto Transportation Club.
Oh, nice.
We're also part of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. That has really opened doors for us to network and really connect and build meaningful relationships with other entrepreneurs who are, they're more or less in the similar industry, have similar client avatars as us, and really just have a network of supportive entrepreneurs, right? Because this journey is I've realized very quickly that it's lonely and it's hard. But if you have the right kind of people in your network who are onto the same path, have similar mindsets, then it actually becomes really fun.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Going through that journey alone is scary, and it feels never ending and like you're shouting into the void. But going through that with people that are
Yes.
experiencing a lot of the same things actually brings a lot of it's very humanizing, and it's very
Yes.
collaborative, and it's very exciting. Like, you know that going through those problems that other people are facing, as long as you don't feel like the odd person out in the world, the only person whose business isn't working, there's some solace in realizing that other people are experiencing a lot of the same things.
Yes, and I will add to that that being a female in a blue collar business like pressure washing has been like I was very intimidated, especially because I didn't come from the industry, didn't have the right technical skills, but I was pleasantly surprised by how welcoming and encouraging people have been around me, and it yeah, it has been a wonderful experience so far.
Nice. So, what are your goals? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, so I've realized that my sweet spot and what I really love about being in business, particularly for myself, like, I say that being in business, it has been the biggest a personal development boot camp.
Yeah,
I've learned so much about myself, personally and professionally in this past year. I've realized what I'm good at, what are some of the things that I tend to avoid, and it's actually those are the things that where growth lies. So for me personally, I've realized that I'm really good at hiring and delegation. And with our first business acquisition, that happened last year, which is Hamilton Mobile Wash. Obviously, our goal is to acquire more businesses. We want to stabilize this business, especially seeing the growth that we are seeing for the business this year, despite whatever is happening around the world. I feel really confident. We want to give it a year or two to sort of feel very stable and confident as an entrepreneur. Sometimes you need that. And then on to the next acquisition. I honestly don't know what space will that be in. But it has to be. I'm more into the acquisition side, not wanting to bootstrap something. So yeah, that would be my next within the next 3 years. That would be my next goal.
and you think adjacent industry? You think a service similar to this, or do you think a wide choice? Or
I don't really know. I'm keeping a very open mind.
yeah, that's a really good
We
outlook.
have so many business opportunities come up, and are shared with me every day, just based on my network and everything. So the numbers have to make sense. I'm very open to the industry, given that I didn't know anything about pressure washing, but I learned everything about it very quickly, and I
Sure.
still am. So as long as you have the mindset of a student and just willing to roll up your sleeves and not be afraid, I think you can learn anything. So just based on that, which is why I'm keeping a wider perspective. If it fits the criteria of, having being recession proof, being closer to my home, or maybe not, maybe I'm gonna feel adventurous
Hmm.
and buy a business in some other province, who knows? But acquisition is definitely something, and is what we are pursuing
Yeah, it's
very
very, very
actively.
exciting. I've used this analogy before, so sorry if you're listening to the podcast and you're hearing me repeat my analogy, but the it's kind of like buying a car where if you make up your mind and you're just married to the idea of buying this one specific car, you tend to get
Yeah.
a worse deal because you'll manipulate the numbers in your mind to make that outcome that you've dreamed for yourself happen. Where if you keep a
Yes,
very open mind and you look at everything for what it is, you tend to work yourself out a better deal because you're able to analyze the pros and cons of each of these agreements.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
without
So it,
that,
it cannot be an emotional decision.
100%. It really can.
Yeah.
And there can be like some impulse there where you decide, oh, I want to do this or I want to do like you're allowed with your money and your time to do something that makes you happy, or do something that scratches an itch for you or is interesting for you. But keep an open mind to people that are focused on business acquisition to what those things are because one, you are capable of learning anything that you want to learn. Everyone
Yes,
is, as long as you're willing to put the time and the effort and the energy into it. And additionally, you can wander into an extremely, extremely profitable company at a really, really good deal if you're open to taking a look. I actually saw a landscaping company here in Georgia that they were retiring and all they wanted to do was sell their equipment. It's like
ah, interesting.
$55,000 worth of equipment. And
Right.
a friend of mine, a guy that I've known personally for like 12 years, already had a landscaping company, needed
There
more
you go.
equipment, and negotiated, if you give me your client list, I'll give you what you want for the equipment. He was going to
Yeah.
buy the equipment anyway. He was going to buy the equipment from them anyway and got their entire client list of like 1,100 residential and commercial landscaping clients. I mean, that's a couple $100,000 in value there just because people want an easy exit. And because he was okay with, he was keeping his mind open to how he was going to solve this problem for
Yes.
himself and his growing company. He wandered into an excellent opportunity for himself that more than doubled the size of his existing business. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of value in keeping a wide range of vision when it comes to looking for things that you want. So I applaud you for that. I think that
definitely.
that what you've done with your company and your demeanor and your temperament and the way that you represent yourself in your company is excellent. The times that I've had talking to you on the phone and now sharing with you on the podcast has let me know that Hamilton Mobile Watch is in really good hands. I think that
Thank
you
you
guys
so
are doing an
much.
incredible job, and I have full faith that you'll continue to do those things. So, for you guys listening, behind the camera, please, we'll share some website, social media, things like that for you guys to go support their business. Please do the same thing for us. If you have other people that you want to see on the podcast, please, please, please recommend those people down in the comments. And if you have people that could be good connections for Nadia, please make those connections as well. And Nadia, if there's anything that you want to leave the people with, if you had to sum up your entrepreneur journey in 11 months in a couple of sentences and let people know, here is why you should take that same chance, please do. We would love to
Yes.
hear it. I think that there's a lot of motivation that comes from a successful story and becoming a small business owner and carving out a path for yourself.
Yeah, so I think I can definitely relate to the essence of your podcast, Burning the Ship, because I literally did that last year. I went all in on this business. I bet big time on myself. And in this past year, I've made mistakes, failed, learned, and gotten back up. And there have been times where it's been very, very terrifying for me. But it has also been the most rewarding year for myself. So I have, like I said, I have grown more professionally and personally in this past year than I probably would have in years if I stayed in my comfort zone. So yes, it's a harder life, but it's also a more fulfilling life.
Sure.
So for anyone sitting on the edge and wondering if they should go all in, remember, like it's scary when you have a mortgage, you have kids, you have bills to pay, but at the end of the day, if you won't bet on yourself, then who will?
100%. Well, I'm proud of you. I applaud you. I know that you probably don't hear that very often because your work is never done, right? Your product is
Yes.
never complete. The last client is never the last client. So
Yes.
keep pushing forward. If there's anything that we can do to support you along the way, any problems that we can solve for you, anything that we can weigh in on, throw our hat in the ring for, please let me know. We would love to help. I'd love to help you keep that dream alive to the best of my ability. And I mean that for you guys that are listening as well. We've worked really, really hard to build this, um, to build this platform for business owners to come and open up about what it is and what it is not that their life is as a business owner. And hopefully that you guys are finding some value in that. So please share this podcast. Please subscribe. That support means a ton. And until next time, burn the ship.